What's going on here with Starbucks? Set the record straight on owning or running a Starbucks as a franchisee.
With Starbucks is a license agreement, right? And the license agreement in our case went to HMS Host in the airport. That was the initial agreement. As we have grown in Starbucks, and my son, his first job out of college was working in the Starbucks as he got his business degree and he got into the business, but he started in Starbucks in Atlanta, Georgia. So as we've evolved with our partnership, that we become licensees. So we are in some cases 40% owner of the brand, but HMS Host in some cases is actually the licensee. That has changed over time where we're on the line as well. So and it's opening up even more every day. So that's how it comes. With Starbucks, if you HMS Host had doesn't today, but had a agreement with Starbucks where they were the premier operators in all the airports. Nobody else could operate Starbucks. So that way, whenever a bidding process, whenever a request for proposal opened up, Host was always the company that was able to bring Starbucks to that airport. Every airport wants a Starbucks. So if there's a package comes out, you've got Starbucks in your package, that gives you a good chance of winning that particular brand. But Starbucks has some very tough hurdles to reach their overall operations model. And so it's become tougher and tougher. And now there's other competition that's out there that's coming into the airports. And that's how we got involved with Starbucks through our partnership with HMS Host. And we've kind of grown from there.
Got one last question for you because a lot of the non-food franchisors and franchisees love to hate on food, QSRs, restaurants, and they say it's a very thin margin. Like it's very easy to lose money in the food business and the margins are super slim. Can you set the record straight?
Well, there's a lot of truth to that. There are some brands that have more of an opportunity for profit than others, where you have the flexibility as far as pricing is concerned. Obviously, high traffic areas where your location is, you have a better opportunity for growing the top line and getting it down to the bottom line. But in an airport, you're faced with most airports want you to be in line about within 10% of what the street pricing is. But on the other side, in most airports, they want you to give a 10% discount to airport employees. And so let's take an example. If you're pre-security, where most of the employees are, staff and employees, then you're going to get hit pretty heavy as far as the discounting. So you don't have that opportunity. So it's up to you as an operator. I think to the top operators, you're able to watch your business close and you're able to make adjustments and be able to increase the profitability on certain items versus other items where you can't, you got to stay within that 10% guideline and you got to watch your controls a lot better. But yes, airports are not, it's not an automatic moneymaker because you got rents, you got guaranteed rent. The rents are tied to space. Your rents are tied to adult drinks, beverage. It's just tied to food. So sales. It's kind of complicated, and you got a bunch of other different dynamics that hit there because how do you get deliveries from the companies that are making it deliveries? How do you get it from that delivery point to your space? So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be figured out that you don't have on the street. On the street, truck just drives right up, drops off the order, moves on. It's not that easy in the airport, especially with security and so forth. Post security, employees, parking, they have to pay for parking, what you have to do to offset some of that. How do you get your deliveries from that delivery point to your space? So many things that a lot of people want to get in, but I always tell them you got to really think through this and you got to understand it. Fortunately for us, we went in with a partner and we were pre-security and we learned how to adapt and have grown over the years.
Well, it's clear that, I mean, obviously you had a lot of success in franchising, had the challenges, but you put in the work. And I think that's kind of one of the takeaways that I have is like, if you have the tenacity, if you have that type of, mindset that George has, then, franchising is either right for you already, or if you're a buyer out there, you need to ask yourself, do I have what it takes? Because it's nice just to get a paycheck. I couldn't imagine going back to just getting a paycheck. Like I could not imagine doing that. I cannot imagine anything but being an entrepreneur. But I'm built for the challenges, and I'm okay with the challenges because they will come. Any parting wisdom for anybody that's thinking about buying a franchise before I let you go?
Yeah, Erik, I think everything you said a minute ago is very key. I was fortunate. I came from a very poor, tough situation. I was adopted and raised by a lady with one leg and couldn't read or write. We had a tough go. She died when I was 13 years old, and her son took me in and raised me. So all of that part of my life, as well as participating in athletics, learning how to win, learning how to lose, getting a good education, all of that helped transfer into that skill set when I had the opportunity to become an entrepreneur. So I had skin in the game, and I knew I had to protect that. I knew that I couldn't relax, couldn't take off, because I wanted to be a win-win situation. And so hard work was no problem. I was up for the challenge, and I loved what I did, so that I think that all worked well for me.
Well, I think we could have gone into that one story and had a really interesting conversation. I think I need to read your book. I'd encourage anybody else out there, check out the book. He's holding it up right now. We'll put both books in the show notes. George, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming on.
Erik, my pleasure.
Thanks for listening to the Franchise Secrets podcast. Links to everything can be found over at franchisesecrets.com. And if you want my help with anything from starting your own franchise to growing your current franchise business, please visit scalablefranchise.com.